And when you're ready, Mr. McLaughlin.
Okay, I'm ready. Okay, I have 10:03 a.m. I'm going to call to order this meeting of the Design and Historic Review Commission, Thursday, March 18th, 2021. First order of business is to ask city staff, do we have a quorum present?
Yes, we do.
Okay, then we will move on with the consent agenda. Consideration and approval of the January 21st, 2021 DHRC meeting minutes. I assume everybody's had a chance to look that over. Are there any changes or notes for that? And if there is not, do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second that.
All right, Mr. James is second on that. We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye, please. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. We'll move on now to the regular agenda, which consists of item DD21-02, 121 North Chadbourne Street, a request for downtown district approval of an exterior remodel, including installation of a new front door, installation of lights, and a new 21 square foot sign and repairs to the roof's decorative crowning located at 121 North Chadbourne Street. And with that, I'll turn it over to city staff for their presentation.
Thank you, Chairman McLaughlin. This is Shelley Pascal, I'm a planner. And today's proposal is a request for a exterior remodel. It's located at 121 North Chadbourne Street. It's located within Central Business District in the downtown neighborhood in District 3, Harry Thomas. This is a photograph of the property as it sits today. And this is a rendering provided by the applicant, noting that we cannot require architectural detailed graphics of the proposal, but this was provided by the applicant. What they're doing on this project is installing a new recessed by 6 foot front gate metal door, installation of new lights up on top of the building, and also a new 21 square foot sign. And they're also going to repair this crown on the top of the roof line. There will be some paint. They'll be removing the one window to put in the recessed metal gate door. There'll also be painting around the left window. They'll be painted black. And on the next slide, I do have the specific colors of black that will be used. The middle picture is the proposed gate to be used. And the trim that splits the building will be white. And I do have the proposed color white of that. The Stillwater sign is an example of what their sign will look like. It will say the Studio 121 events. It'll be black metal with cutout lettering, and the lamps and or the lights that will be used will be this exact light. However, the color of the metal itself will be black. These are the two proposed colors. The white is the Bear Premium Plus brand. The white will be nano white, and then the black around the window and the door will both be jet black. As you know, the Downtown District Overlay Zone, its purpose is to facilitate generation of downtown, and it is intended to meet, protect, enhance the city's architectural, historical, and cultural heritage, to promote economic prosperity, encourage redevelopment, and protect and enhance areas' attractiveness. City staff, we do believe that the proposal is consistent with the above criteria. And the new recess door will give a visual appeal, and it'll kind of break up the wall and the black metal iron to provide a contrast and to the tan brick. Per the River Corridor Master Development Plan, restoring ornamental cornices at the top of the facade is strongly encouraged because such cornices can provide a finished look to the facade. As some year in the past, this decorative cornice was damaged and the applicant is wanting to repair that portion. The River Corridor Master Development Plan also states that signs are important. And it can give the design and the uniqueness in the sign and can relate to the character of the store and give a sense of entry for the building. This new sign will allow the public to understand the use that is contained within the building and draw attention to its entry. The exterior lighting can be used to emphasize the building entrance and individual storefronts. The proposed lamps will be used to both light the building entrance and to light the proposed new sign. As I stated, these will be black in color and will be metal. City staff, we do recommend approval of case DD 2102 for all proposed improvements, subject to the two conditions of approval, that the color, dimensions, and materials of all improvements shall be consistent with the renderings approved by the Design and Historic Review Commission. Any minor deviations may be approved by the planning director, and also obtain any required permits from the permits division. That concludes my presentation. Does anybody have any specific comment or questions or comments?
I'll see the drawing again.
Yes, ma'am. This one kind of gives the overall.
And what are the dimensions of the sconces? They're going to be
Of the lights. They will be that exact light. I did have a fact sheet on the lights. Just one moment. There is a fact sheet on those specific lights. I do believe they're coming from Home Depot. Let's see if I have that fact sheet, if it gives me the dimensions on the proposed lights. It's a 50-watt outdoor security wall-mounted light. I do have the model number and the SKU number on this illustration. It doesn't give me the specific dimensions of the lights.
Just
Is the applicant also available?
Y'all are muted. Mr. and Miss Minton, y'all are muted. You could unmute.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you now.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I believe Commissioner Wallace had a question about the size of the lights. Do y'all know how far they would stick out and how big around they are?
Give me just a second and I could probably get that for you.
Okay.
While they look that up, does anybody else have any other questions for staff?
I have a question. What is the material going to be around the window? And then when they do the recess in the door, what is that going to be? Plaster, wood, plywood, siding? What is it? What is that going to be?
What is it gonna be, Jared?
Wood with poly OSB on the walls, and then some kind of siding or just
What kind of siding? I mean, lap siding, 4x8 sheets.
yeah,
Mason.
and then just paint it over for exterior with exterior. I mean, for an exterior look.
And with your expertise, Mr. Mazur, if you feel strongly more one way or another regarding what type of wood.
I think it needs to be plastered or some kind of smooth finish like that. Wouldn't like to see lap siding or anything like that in there. I mean, I don't think that goes with the building. My other question is, is why are the doors offset to the right and then the sign is not centered over the door? Why isn't the door centered in the building where everything else is all structured? Everything else is symmetric. Now everything is kiltered to one side. Is there some reason for that, or I think it needs to be in the center, and that way the sign is over the door. And then is there going to be a light under the door when that door is recessed back in there? What's going to be on the ceiling right there when they push that door back in 6 feet? What's going to happen up there?
On the interior, there's a proposed bridal suite on that side, so that is the reason for that offset door.
There'll be a room in there. So I'll have to offset the door so that I can build a room there on the
I
inside.
mean, there's no way to center that door in the front.
That was
I
the area
have a
of
big
space
problem
that
with
we were
that
working with.
aesthetically.
I agree. I thought that was just a sketch. I didn't realize it was actually off center.
Can we pull the picture back up?
Yes, yes.
I can't find the specifications for this one.
I mean, the facade and everything is
Right.
structured, is
Yeah.
symmetric.
That
And then
door
you've got-
leads into the window.
Commissioner Missouri, are you asking if they can move that metal door that they're proposing centered under that middle window? And
I think
have
it-
it potentially recessed?
Aesthetically, yes, I think it needs to be, I think it throws the whole building off kilter because everything is symmetric, everything matches. And then now you've got this thing set over to the right and the sign doesn't match the door.
Right.
Everything's off kilter to me. I think it just is not good for that building. I mean, the building is a beautiful building. Everything is symmetric. And then the front part of it is just off kilter. I don't think it's a good architectural feature for that building. I have a big problem with that.
And
So
just,
Melissa or
That
Jerry,
door
is
needs
there?
to be, centered into the window for sure,
okay.
Yes, ma'am.
somehow.
And
Jared or Melissa, on that corner of your bridal suite that's behind that, is there a major issue with having an angled, that corner would just kind of be angled because you could still maybe sit the door.
If we
still
angle
have the
it, it won't
recess.
allow for the door, for the proper recession of the door.
I've got a question about that. I've done several buildings down there. Did you check with the fire marshal on that? Because they actually changed the ruling on that where the door can open out or it can open in.
The fire marshal is the one that
As
told us.
long as you put a pot or something on the outside, you can actually do that. I think you need to check into that again.
No, the fire marshal specifically went and walked the building with us and stated that our door must open towards the street. So it had to be recessed. He gave us dimensions as to how far it had to be recessed in. And
Was
he
that
told
Ross
us-
Coleman?
Yes.
I believe so, yes.
Okay, then they must have changed the ruling on that then, because there's several properties downtown that have been done where the doors can open in.
He said because of our occupation load and what we wanted the building for, that it would have to be an outward opening door.
Okay, well then that makes sense.
And where the property line lies for
I
egress.
think the
and all
door
that.
really needs to be centered in that building. I have a big problem with that.
with centering the door, would that create a reduction of the windows?
We'd have to do away with.
That would
we'd have-
eliminate both
We'd
windows.
have to do away with both the windows and we'd have to restructure the whole thing.
Why can't you just put a smaller window on the left and the right and put the door in the middle? Looks like you got plenty of room there to do that.
On the interior, there isn't enough room and there would be no point in having the windows if we did that.
Because the reason that we're leaving the one window on the left would be for light, like daylight into the suite that's on the inside. And I'll do away with the window on the right and I'll make that whole entrance right there, going up to the grand, the big door that you go in.
Can't cut another window into the left of the brick right there. That wouldn't be into that room. Just cut another there.
I'm not going to disturb the brick though. That was the whole point. I don't want to disturb any of the original brick. I just want to clean it up and I want to fix the top.
I understand. I understand what you're trying to do, but you know, we have to look at it at a different perspective. We don't want to have a building where architecturally it changes the whole exterior of it. I mean, there's reasons this board is here. And I just personally, I have a big problem with that. So the other board,
would you be
you know,
okay with the way it is right now?
yes, with the door centered, I think it looks better like that than having that door offset myself, because the sign and all that's not centered. Everything is off kilter to me.
Well, if it's fine the way it is, I guess we'll just leave it like that. And we won't put in a new door or anything else.
No, there
Like
are
I
ways to update what you have.
One
there
board member
with
opinion, you know, I'm open to other discussion from other board members. That's just my thinking.
No, I agree. I think if you wanted to leave it the way it is, you could still update it with, you know, new finished materials and color.
No, we just leave it the way it is.
Okay.
I mean, we're trying to upgrade it. We're trying to make it look better. We're trying to make it pop. We're trying to make it more presentable. And I mean, I personally don't see anything wrong with what we're trying to do. It adds a little bit of standout. It adds character. It draws the eye to it. But I mean, right now the eye draws to it because it's horrendous color.
I agree. It adds character. I love the door. I love the direction you're going, but the door really needs to be centered under that window. It does look awkward. That the entire facade is symmetrical as it is, and I really love what you've chosen, what you're doing, but I agree, it's got to be centered.
Did you already have a door? Is that why you can't get another door? I mean, I don't understand. What, do you already have purchased the door? Or?
Yes, we have.
Yeah, so it was a custom made door.
You know, it's just a lot of that. I mean, I'm just saying, you know, you should have probably come to the board before you purchase any of this stuff to start the process.
It's okay. We can resell it. It's not a big deal.
But I agree with Lisa. I think you know, you could do aesthetically the same thing, but the door needs to be in the center of that building.
I agree.
All right, well, we'll just leave it existing just the way it is, and we won't fix the top or anything. We'll just clean up the brick and that's it.
That's your choice.
All right.
Okay, well, then the question for staff would be, do we vote on anything or do we just table it, or where do we go now?
I make a motion that we not approve the plans as per submitted by staff.
Yeah.
Unless they want to come back with another proposition to us. I mean, I'm open to that, but the way it's set up right now, I'm opposed to it.
Would you feel comfortable with tabling it until next month's meeting to give
Sure.
the applicant the opportunity to come back
Sure,
with a
welcome.
different proposal with the centered door?
Sure, I'm for that. If the proponents are willing to do that, maybe bring us back another idea or another drawing.
Okay.
I think the property could work easily with just putting a single door in, and that way it wouldn't affect the windows on either side. They could do whatever they want there. And I think it would make the building look a whole lot better.
One question, Shelley, the sign will still need DHRC approval, whether that's administrative or by the board. Are there elements now that the board might be comfortable with, or would they, again, like you said or suggested, table it and see if they wanted to do a redesign?
If the board is comfortable and feels that they can move forward, approve the sign to get that moving forward, that's an option, or they can table the entire item for next month
I
to
would
come back
think-
next month if the applicants are
I have a-
wanting.
I have a question about the sign. Is it going to be a standoff sign or is it going to be mounted to the building? What is the font going to be on it? I mean, there's no real draw. I mean, somebody wrote it with a pencil, but I mean, what is the font going to look like? What are the lettering going to be? What are the size of the lettering going to be? I would like to see a drawing from a sign company that's actually going to build the sign so we can see exactly what we're voting on.
Yeah, and Mr. and Miss Minton, would y'all be more comfortable with going ahead and allowing them to table it this month to come back next month with more of specifics of kind of what Mr. Commissioner Missouri is looking for?
So does this affect our building permit or is this completely separate?
You will not be able to pull a building permit until this commission does approve.
Okay, so then let's just leave everything the way it is because we need our building permit more than we need to fix the outside of this building at the moment. If we can come back later after we have fixed the inside, but we can't keep waiting for our building permit based on the exterior because it's a lot. So we would
Well,
rather-
I think on that, I think you can get your building permit inside without
Inside.
that.
Right, just not the
Yeah.
exterior. So
So if you're gonna do
Yeah.
electrical and all that, then they could just add that front facade on another permit.
That's correct.
I think you
Correct.
should be able to do.
yeah,
Mhm.
you'll be able to do inside, just nothing outside. So would y'all feel comfortable with you and I working together, kind of,
Yes,
I know
ma'am.
we're, and maybe just table it for next month's meeting?
Yes, ma'am.
And is everybody comfortable with the lights? Because that may be part of the building they need to do at the same time they do the electrical on the inside of that wall. Does anybody have any issue with the lights?
Well, the only problem I have with it on the plan, they're not set to scale. They're just, the plan is not detailed enough to get an accurate description of actually what we're voting on. I mean, they need to be laid out exactly how they're going to be on the building, the distance between them, how far they're going to project out, things like that. And then none of that is on the plan.
Yeah, so I would
All right,
suggest
so-
we go ahead and table the complete item.
Does that require then a motion to table it, Shelley?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then I'll make a motion that we table this proposal until the applicant has an opportunity to visit with you guys and get ready and bring it back forward to us. Do I have a second?
I second it.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Is that 5-0?
I believe so.
Okay.
Okay. The next thing on the agenda would be the division report. Is there a division report today?
No, not really. I'm filling in for John James, who's out on spring break, and as I think might have been mentioned at the last DHRC, that Miss Hillary Bucher has taken a position over at Goodfellow Air Force Base and is now working at Goodfellow Air Force Base. So we are minus a planning manager. So y'all have third string today. So I apologize for that. So the only thing that John continues to mention is that the governor's executive order right now still allows for virtual meetings. We don't know how much longer that will last if COVID numbers as he starts to open up the state. So there is the possibility that we may meet in person in April, but we just don't know yet. So we'll keep everybody interested or tell everybody what the plan will be in April as we have cases come in and where we need to be. The only other thing is John James, our director, is taking an expansion of the Central Business District to Planning Commission next month, and it will also expand the Downtown Design District that was, I want to say about a year and a half ago, maybe, that this board had made some recommendations. I know we've had some new board members since then, but that will go to Planning Commission in April, and I'll have Shelley send y'all the date on that if y'all are interested in that aspect. But it would give this board, if passed through planning commission and city council, the ability to aesthetically say more about some of our downtown buildings that we don't have a say right now. It would expand your area of influence to continue to some of those buildings that are on the periphery of our downtown. What can we do to make them fit as they transition into the downtown area?
Okay, very good.
So,
All right, I don't know if this would be the time to interject this or not. I assume it would. I would think that if we learn anything today going forward, city staff, just know that it's likely that we're going to want to know the colors and the fonts and the dimensions and the measurements. Those things are fairly basic. And I hate for us to cause a problem for an applicant that comes before the board that doesn't have to be, and cause a delay, didn't have to be there. So hopefully going forward, we'll know that to have those details included and ready for the commissioners to have a look at. That would just be my personal opinion.
Yes, sir. Today's meeting was definitely a growth opportunity moving forward.
Okay. All right. So the next regular meeting of the DHRC is scheduled to begin Thursday, April 15th, 2021 at 10 a.m. in the East Reception Room at City Hall, 72 West College Avenue, or via Zoom. And with that, take a motion for adjournment.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right. And with that,